Target 8 is continuing coverage across state lines to investigate the past of Shawn Jarrett.
He's behind bars right now in Kent County for allegedly raping an 85-year-old in Granville. And yesterday we were live in Ohio, where Jarrett moved after serving 30 years in prison for a murder and rape that he committed back in the early 1980s.
New tonight, Target 8's Heather Walker is digging into his past in Pennsylvania.
This is a quiet neighborhood where Jarrett grew up, and it's just a nice suburb in Pennsylvania. Before he came to Michigan, before he was released to Ohio, before he was locked up and called a criminal, who was Shawn Jarrett? Before then, Jarrett was there at the high school.
Yes.
How would you describe him?
He was quiet individual. His eyes always looked like they were somewhere else.
Mary Liz Morocco is a retired teacher from Farrell High School, where Jarrett attended. She remembers young Jarrett because she was also his neighbor. She lived across the street from him for about 10 years.
His eyes let you know that there was something wrong. He just had that faraway stare most of the time. When you'd see him in the halls, he just, went to where he was supposed to go. Yeah, he wasn't overtly friendly or anything like that.
She never had him in class because Jarrett was in what was called the special education class. His teacher's aide was Mrs. Spacito, his other neighbor who lived next door.
And they were neighbors, good friends, and he did yard work for them or other, jobs in the house. And I guess he went in and out of the house.
She loved the kids that she worked with. She was like a grandmother to them. She really worked hard with her kids and enjoyed it. That's what made this whole thing so sad.
In March of 1982, 64-year-old Mary Spacito was raped and murdered in her home where she lived alone. Days later, there was more commotion in the neighborhood.
All of a sudden, we saw these police cars and sheriff's cars and state police descending on the corner house up there. Police started getting out. They all had on like flak jackets and big guns, rifles, and there was a gun trained on every window and door in the house.
Morocco remembers it well because it was so unusual.
And we didn't know what was going on, nobody, because the people that lived there are very nice people.
Jarrett was 18 when he was arrested here. Morocco still lives in the neighborhood. The Jarrett family moved out shortly after he was arrested. Live in Farrell, Pennsylvania, Heather Walker, 24-Hour News 8.